The marketing and advertising industries sort of emerge alongside industrial production, because what you have is a lot of goods that don't really have a natural market because nobody has needed them before.
Such as?
Well, one of the best demonstrations of this, I think, I have cribbed this example from a book called Satisfaction Guaranteed, which is by the historian Susan Strasser, who I love. But she starts Satisfaction Guaranteed with like the story of Crisco. Crisco began as sort of like a perfect example of industrial problem solving. You've got all of this raw material, cotton, that is being used to make textiles, to produce ready-made garments that can be sold in stores. So you're using all of this cotton in such a large scale. And one of the waste products of industrial cotton cultivation is cotton seeds. Cotton seeds contain an oil. If you press them and then partially hydrogenate the oil that they express, hydrogenation, it's hard to say, it creates trans fats. I know that. Changes the chemical structure of this oil. And what it does is it makes it solid and shelf stable at room temperature.
Okay.
Cottonseed oils, previously a waste product, you can get out of them basically a block of fat that exists in a form that it has never existed before in human history. It is the first like pure vegetable oil in the United States.
Wow. All
cooking that was done previously in the United States was done with animal fats. There's no natural market for vegetable oil. People don't.
This is blowing my mind right now. I'm picturing the people who came up with this, like, they have this like block of Crisco in front of them and they're staring at it like the guys in Ghostbusters 2.
I mean, I think that's basically what happened.
and so like you have this like glowing piece of like solid room temperature, theoretically cooking fat in front of you. And you're like, think. How do we get people to buy this?
Right. You know, it creates another revenue stream for cotton producers. It creates a bunch of factory jobs. It creates a product for Procter & Gamble that they can market. So there's a lot of financial incentive on the part of lots of people involved in the process of creating Crisco to make it profitable. So Procter & Gamble, you know, creates a marketing campaign. They tout its health benefits. They develop recipes that they then give out at stores, explain how to use it, explain its benefits, probably lying about them, to sort of like, you know, induce demand for this product that no natural demand existed for.
I feel like as growing up in the 90s, like every product that like was invented was marketed as if like you were the last person to be hearing about it.
Right.
And it's like, look at this thing that's utterly essential to your life. How did you ever survive before, you dumb bitch? Like, come get some immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. And when mass media is still sort of like being developed, it is really possible to tell people that like, oh, everybody uses this. It's fantastic. You've never heard of this before? You
haven't been using Crisco?
like look at this drawing of this happy lady on this marketing pamphlet. Don't you want to be the happy lady?
I do. I do want to be the happy lady. It's all I want.
And this happens over and over again in the sort of process of industrial production, is that you realize you have the ability to make something and then you have to figure out how to sell it.
Really explains a lot.
Yeah. And this is still like basically like the guiding functional rudder of consumer culture.
Clearly.